Welcome back to Wonder, guys. I have Mr. Dylan Stroud, Taylor Speegle. My name is James Hsu, and welcome back to Wonder. Today we are going to be answering one of our questions from our community line. If you haven't already registered with our community, that's how we take all questions for all videos. 702-602-8802. Ask us questions that we answer in a future question. I round up the boys and we answer all your tech needs and all of your tech questions that we have in the metaverse and app development, and all the amazing, wonderful things that we talk about. Today, though, I want to talk about, gentlemen, our newest question that came up, and it was about hospitality. And I felt it really hit us well in Las Vegas, because we are here in the entertainment capital of the world. In my personal opinion, Las Vegas has now also turned into the foodie capital of the world. So let's talk a little bit about hospitality, metaverse.
So I think hospitality offhand is just something we love, right? Being in Las Vegas, it's hospitality, it's entertainment, it's all about creating an experience for a guest. And really, when you talk about using those terms, experiences, you hear the same term experience used in up and down the Las Vegas Strip, people going on vacations, and you hear about it a ton within virtual reality in the metaverse. So I think for that reason, the metaverse and virtual reality lends itself very, very well for creating and enhancing existing experiences. And we're seeing a lot of implementations of that in the world of hospitality. So if we kind of define hospitality and broaden it a little bit, I think hotels, I think everything associated, just picture, MGM Grand downtown. What are all those things they have? They have shows and entertainment. Now we have sports with the Raiders and the Golden Knights here. All of those could be encapsulated in what a true hospitality kind of experience is. And then also, if you look at somebody's stay and the full life cycle of their stay. If you talk to anybody within the hospitality and gaming industry, it's all about service. It's about the moment you touch your foot on their sidewalk in valet. Everything from that moment forward is part of that hospitality experience that you can create. That's everything going all the way up into their rooms. When they walk into their room, what technologies are being implemented in a room today? And we're seeing a lot of that as well. So not just virtual reality and metaverse kind of pieces, but if you go more traditional applications and using and leveraging technology in ways to enhance the overall guest experience, we're seeing a ton of great applications of that.
Keyless rooms,
using your phone. When you walk in, you have a profile. Yep. So I use my key in my room. There's already a digital profile of who I am. And so I know the last time I stayed here, I like this channel, I like my room at this temperature, I like my sheets tucked or untucked. And all these little facets are now all part of the experience. So you have housekeeping that can come by, and when they're configuring your room, they can go through and have their iPad or device out and say, okay, this is the profile of the next guest in this room, and make a few tweaks. And you feel like you might be staying in a kind of a standard room, but you feel like you're at a 5-star resort. And if you can find really creative digital solutions, then you can really elevate what a guest experiences, which increases retention, increases the spending while they're on the site. So we're seeing, just as a whole, fun, innovative digital technologies permeating, up and down the Strip here in Las Vegas, and really across the hospitality industry as a whole.
The digital profile is powerful, just because when you enter your room, for me, a lot of times you have the water selection. I don't drink alcohol, so if you have all this alcohol, not interested. But if you understand my profile, you have your Coca-Cola, you have hot fries for me, you're gonna get me to pick.
You're happy. You're emptying that many fries.
Yes.
And with geolocation technology, you can get special deals as you're walking by if you're feeling a little hungry. There's a lot of really smart things that you can do using location data and the types of foods that you like, getting special offers, making sure you get the most out of your trip. Tons of opportunity there as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think expanding a little bit to gaming, is you find that a generation like the millennial generation and younger is you're seeing replacement of gaming in traditional table games. You're seeing those replaced with a more digitized version of it. So you're still sitting there in person, but there's not a dealer. You're not being forced to interact with anybody. Instead, you're recreating that experience, but there's a degree of technology that's separating you. And so instead, there's this big roulette wheel that's up in front, and there's a digital avatar of a person that's kind of initiating that process. And they're finding that that's a much more, a preferred process for a large degree of millennials and younger generations. So again, that's how technology is augmenting or modifying the existing experience to better satisfy the current population and the current demand.
I know a lot of millennials gamble differently than our parents did, for example, and so they've thought a lot more, the hotels, casinos, and the experiences downtown. They're thinking a lot more about what kind of experiences can we bring the millennials in for, and we're even seeing things like virtual reality platforms. I think there was the Void, I think it's now Sandbox, VR. That's an example of actual shops that are in there that give people fun experiences and things to do that are exactly virtual reality based, which is also a really good time if you guys haven't tried that. It's actually really fun to do with your friends. But so you have these local locations that can integrate technology in ways that are fun. You can integrate technology in the form of apps to actually optimize guest experiences, guest booking, and then of course before you even book, you can optimize that technology with things like room previews, which can be optimized through phone or designed and built for phone, web, and then virtual reality, which ultimately gives us the best preview experience where we can actually be in the room and walk around the room and see what that experience is going to be like before we book.
I've aged myself a little bit because back in the day when we looked at our parents and they said, oh, back in the day it was da-da-da. I'm one of those guys now because I like being at the table with a real person. Ashley, she likes it better when it's the digital. She's like, I don't want to talk to them. I just want to deal with the chips. I just want to do with the digital roulette table. And there's even just between her and I, there's only 8 years difference, but that 8 years has made us, they like that.
Right. and you see that even that same sentiment in designing hotels and hotel lobbies. Just leave Las Vegas for a moment and you're going into a standard hotel experience. Let's say you're going to Los Angeles for work. Their lobbies are now being designed because people like to work remotely, and they like to work remotely in the presence of people, but they don't want to have to engage with people. And so you're thinking about that from the architectural side up in terms of the way you're designing. And so really in the world of hospitality, you're seeing so many, it's progressive, I think, as a whole. I think hospitality industry, particularly here in Las Vegas, you have the largest entertainment capital of the world, you have billions of dollars backing, and MGM and Caesars and smaller properties are investing heavily in the space, and they're far more willing to take risks, far more willing to push the boundaries of what a hospitality experience is. And I think that's why Las Vegas is often viewed as a testing ground. There's a place called Blackfire Innovation that Caesars has a place at where they try out and experiment with new technologies, even new innovations in bedding. They're working on, there's an interesting type of material used that's supposed to be similar to like 1,000 count cotton thread, but is actually made of a manufactured substance that can be melted down instead of washed in a machine. And then after it is melted down, it's effectively sanitized and clean. It is then laid out on a sheet and cures back into a fabric. And it's remarkable, but they're looking at things like that to progress, streamline the processes, increase profitability, and that's non-digital tech, but it's still amazing technology that's in place. And so that's what we love about being in Las Vegas in the world of hospitality is you have giant captains of industry pushing forward and investing heavily in the world of innovation.
Definitely. Yeah, and as far as technology goes, there's sort of, specifically on the Metaverse side, we're definitely seeing trends in the hospitality space towards that pre-booking, increasing book rates by effectively giving people these tours, increasing revenue sources by if they have venues and they have really exciting things to do. This is similar to how the out-of-home market is a really exciting market right now for virtual reality. If there's a place that people go to do something for fun, you can create a virtual environment and a virtual reality environment for people to go kind of get a taste of what that's like. So go watch the Blue Man Group in VR or whatever that thing is, right? And so we're seeing various revenue drivers from that. Of course, doing those previews and touring and booking your room is something that's really exciting. And then of course, on the opposite side, there's a whole variety of technologies that are emerging there. That's really exciting. And then on the hotel side themselves, these are large organizations and very large operations. There's many thousands of people, on the strip working, and training these people very quickly to provide the type of service they provide is definitely a difficult task, especially at the scale that they're at. And so we're definitely seeing an emerging interest, and there's a huge potential and opportunity potential here to train up thousands of employees if you build the proper simulation just once. So you no longer have to you need so many training facilities, you don't need so many training simulations. You can actually have all these people simultaneously doing the same training over and over and over again, and look for various talking cues, mannerisms, teach them navigating through the hotel without actually having to navigate through the hotel to give directions from any given point, how to handle check-ins with customers properly. And again, this is all automated, so you don't need another person on the other hand training them. And so this is an example of a really huge beneficial opportunity with Metaverse technology for hospitality. We're just now starting to see some interest in plenty of opportunity there. It's really exciting.
Vegas is going to look very different over the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be an amazing thing. Blade Runner 2049-ish.
Hopefully not the bad side of that.
Yes, only the good stuff. And we just barely got to the tip of the iceberg for this, so excited about it. With that being said, how do people get a hold of Wondour?
Check us out at wondour.com, WONDOUR.com, or go hunt us down on the socials.
And then we'd love for you guys to join our community. Again, it's 702-602-8802. Ask us any questions. We answer those questions in future episodes. I'll round up the guys, and we will talk shop and talk tech and talk about everything that's going to be happening in the world of technology, which is an exciting thing. Until our next episode, guys, do us a favor. We're building our community here on YouTube also, so like this video, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so that way you can be alerted when new videos pop up on YouTube and all of our other exciting things that are going on. And until that next episode, thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, James.
We'll talk to everyone soon.